Hey guys, it's Anthony, and I'm here to do something a little bit different on my channel. I don't normally do these kinds of videos. I found out a little while back that it happened to be the 20-year anniversary of one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows, which is a show that has its fan base, but it's not that huge. At least it's not these days. But a lot of my friends seem to remember this show, and when I remember whenever I would ask them about it, they would always be like, "Oh, hi Puffy Amiyumi." Yes, talking about hi Puffy Amiyumi, and it was actually 10 days ago. I should have gotten on it, but I had a party the day of, so couldn't get to it. But I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to show my Hi Puffy Amiyumi collection, my very small collection. One of my friends on here, Hi Puffy Amiyumi Fan 2002, just did a video showing their collection, and man, they have a massive collection, way bigger than mine ever could be. And I will put a link to the description of where you can watch that video, because it's a really cool video. My friend's got like drumsticks, posters, toys, all kinds of stuff. But I also want to talk about my experience with Hi Puffy Amiyumi as a viewer. Now, I remember when the show first came out. Like, I was born in '98, so I was like 6 when the show came out. And I remember some of my friends at the time were fans of the show. And it was, a lot of people don't even realize how popular of a show it really was. Like I know people mention like Foster's, Camp Lazlo, and some of the other, mid 2000s Cartoon Network shows that were super popular during that time. And I remember Hi Puffy Amiyumi being one of them easily. In fact, I even remember reading on IMDb that it was like the highest rated show on Cartoon Network, which is like, that's pretty amazing. It really did get a lot of hype. It really represents a time in history that we just don't really see that much anymore. It came out during a time when J-Rock was really popular, and a lot of people don't really believe that J-Rock was really a huge thing during that time. Like, I know nowadays people are all about K-pop. Like, you go into a Target, you'll find a bunch of albums, which, by the way, on a side note, like, I noticed, like, when you go into the CD section of like Target, you go into K-pop. The K-pop, their packaging is very, very interesting. Like, they have like boxes, like some of their albums come in like notepads, and it's really weird. But it's a way to get the kids buying albums. So, but I do remember it was a time when J-Rock was super popular. Like, it was around the time when anime was really starting to hit a massive boom. Like, I know Hi Puffy Amiyumi isn't a anime in any sense. It's obviously not. It's anime inspired, but it's definitely not an anime. And I do remember when the show was really popular. In fact, I can remember the first episode I remember watching, which was Taffy Trouble. Which was paired with, was it this DVD or, it was the other one, Ami's Secret, Taffy Trouble, Dance a Go Go. That was the first episode I remember watching. That was way back in, I want to say December '04, early '05. I remember it was, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the show afterwards, and I'd sometimes catch it on TV. It was a really, really like good show in many ways. I liked the humor. I liked the colors. I think that was what really drew me into the show. And just it really had a sense of, you know, whenever you watch it, it's sort of like one of those like rare shows that I watch, like kind of like I know it's not Cartoon Network, but like Jimmy Neutron, where like when you watch it, like it kind of takes you back to that time, like that more innocent time in your life. And I would watch certain episodes after that on TV whenever I would catch it. I didn't buy any of the DVDs until much later. But what really got me hooked on the show was actually I watched it many years later. I wanted to watch the entire series. And I hadn't seen the entire series. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't one of those like massive viewers of the show at the time. I was watching like Foster's and other shows like that, which I also really like a lot. There's a lot of like I think Camp Lazlo was probably my favorite show at the time, which for whatever reason Cartoon Network will never put that out on DVD. I wish they would. That was another good show. But Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi, I just remember, there was sort of it just makes you happy. It's like one of those like really rare shows that just like it makes you happy. It makes you like remember a time that was a lot more. I don't know if I would call it. I mean, I'm just saying from a kid's perspective. I know there's probably people who are adults who probably were like, oh, okay, whatever. That was just another show on Cartoon Network. But for the Zillennials, a lot of them, remember it, and I remember a lot of my friends even watched the show growing up that I talked to later on. Some of them didn't care about it later on, but there were a lot that did. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I did watch the show many years later on YouTube, and they're obviously from TV rips. We've actually gotten to the point now where there's like logo free rips and stuff. They're way better quality. That for whatever reason they were on Max in Latin America, but I think due to rights issues of the music, we still have yet to get a release here in America. So, but they did put out a couple of episodes on DVD here in America, which I'll show. Yeah, I watched them on YouTube, and there was a lot of episodes I didn't even remember watching at the time. And adding on to that, there were also episodes that didn't even air in America that I didn't even know about. Like the show ended because the creator left the network, and they had leftover episodes, but they just never aired here in America. And they still haven't aired in America, which are really good episodes. They're from season 3. Like we didn't even like. There's certain characters like Julie, like we didn't even know about. Here in the States. And I just have a lot of fun watching the show. I still do, and it's really unfortunate that because of music licensing, I don't think, unless some miracle happens, I don't think Cartoon Network will ever rerun the show or release any DVDs of it, which is a real shame because I really think that more people should watch the show and a lot more people should be exposed to it. I mean, and going back to like the whole thing when J-Rock was really popular, like that really brought a lot of attention to J-Rock, that show. And a lot of more people got interested. A lot more kids got interested in them. In fact, I vaguely remember also when the real Puffy Amiyumi, which I love their music too. They're still putting out music, and they're still playing. They haven't played much in America in a long time. I wish they would. there just doesn't seem to be an interest because, like I said, J-Rock isn't all that popular here in America anymore. It's really all about K-pop, which everyone has their own preference. I'm not the biggest K-pop fan. I've always been more of a J-Rock fan, but K-pop has some good tunes too. So I really hope that one day, if some millionaire, wants to, pay the rights to bring the show to America, I'll be more than great. It'd be amazing. If you want to know who my favorite characters are, obviously, Yumi's probably my favorite character. Grey Delisle, who I hope to get to meet one day. Probably get that some of those DVDs signed. But yeah, if you haven't really watched Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi, I believe most of the episodes are on YouTube. If Cartoon Network hasn't taken them down, although I haven't really seen many takedowns of some of those shows. I think the Cartoon Network kind of just got sick of getting those videos taken down. When they were originally on YouTube back in like 2010, 2011, 2012, I remember there was a YouTuber, and let me know if anyone remembers this YouTuber specifically, who used to put all these like shows on Cartoon Network and all these other shows on YouTube. There used to be this YouTuber called Winx is Back, aka King of Commons. No, like their name might ring a bell to some of you. I just remember that was how I used to watch those shows. Like, that person used to also post like Kappa Mikey and all bunch of shows. Like, that person was the person to go to when watching a lot of those like classic kids shows, because they weren't airing on TV anymore, and it was a really cool thing when like parts of the shows were put online, and then of course accounts got taken down. Long story, but anyway. So yeah, definitely check out Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi. And on that note, I guess I'll show my very small collection. I have 2 video games. I have Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi Kaznapped, which I don't have the case for it or the box, but I do have the game. One of these days I'll get the case, but I'm not worried about it at the moment. And then Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi Genie in the Amp, which I also don't have the case for. It's a good game, kind of repetitive, and the frame rate's kind of eh. And there was also a third Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi game called Manga Madness or something like that. That was originally going to be on the GBA, which actually, I think 30% of the game was finished, and it got leaked, which I thought was pretty cool. It's kind of like Kaznapped, it's like a side-scroller kind of action game. So those are the games I have. They only made like 2 games, unless if you don't count the Flash games. I'll show these DVDs, and I'll show you something that's really cool. I never really showed on my channel because I never really got around to showing my autograph collection, which I still need to make a video of that. So here are my Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi DVDs. There's people out there who have way more that were released in like Japan. Like, I know there were like seasons 1 and 2 released in Japan. I think the only place that released season 3 was in Thailand, I think. But I don't know if that's a bootleg or not. So we got Let's Go. I remember it took forever for me to find this thing. I had to go on eBay to get this. I have 2 copies of this. I'll explain. You know what? I'll show my original copy first. Here's my original copy in a purple case, and the reason that I got another one was because it didn't come with the insert, but it did come with the disc. But it has Well, it's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4 episodes, but it's 12 segments. Disharmony, Collect 05, Ninja Kampoop, which is the first episode. Ami Secret, Taffy Trouble, Dance a Go-Go, The Amazing Kazam, Puffylicious, Lights, Camera, Danger, The First Rule of Fan Clubs, which is really fan clubs, Catnap, and Cursed. And it has a couple of special features too. A trivia track of Dance a Go-Go and Backstage with Puffy Amiyumi, which is like some like backstage footage of them just like hanging out. And here's my other copy, which actually has, although copy's a little scratched, but still plays. And I'll even show the inserts. It has like the list of shorts on there, the episodes. And on the back, it's a bunch of merchandise for the show. There was actually a lot of merchandise that was for Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi. A lot of people don't really know about that. The Rock Out sets, the Rock On play sets, you know, the fashion case, and then the World Tour dolls, you know, the real Ami and Yumi, which I thought was pretty cool. And of course a mail-in, you know, for the 2 DVDs. I would love to get the Japanese season sets, but those are very hard to come by. This case is a little damaged. I don't know what they were doing with this. It was like they used this for like target practice or something. Anyway, Rock Forever. This is the second volume. By the way, both of these DVDs are actually, unfortunately, out of print. So the only way to really get them is like online, and they depend on price. Sometimes you find them for cheap. Sometimes you'll find them for, I think, a little overpriced, but you know. This one has a music video karaoke style, and Speak Japanese with Puffy Amiyumi, which I think you can find some of these special features on YouTube. This one has a couple of season 2 episodes. It's mostly just season 1 though, these DVDs, which I like season 2, but in my honest opinion, season 1, but season 2 is much better. Just my opinion. Showdown, In the Cards, Team Teen, Yumi Saves Kaz, Rock and Row, Scalitis, Koi Fish, Arbor Day, Ami Ami, Hungry Yumi, The Bodyguard, and Song Sung Bad. I believe Hungry Yumi was a season 2 episode. I'll show you the disc. Same insert and everything. Well, the one insert, but there's the it's the base. It's the same advertisement in the back. I actually love that episode, Hungry Yumi. That's a great episode where Yumi's like trying to find a hamburger. Now, here's the cream of the crop in my collection. I actually met one of the voice actors of Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi, Harmony, Sandy Fox. I met her at a convention about 5 years ago at this place called Anime California. It's no longer around. I wish they would bring it back somehow. But I actually got to meet Sandy Fox, and I actually got to get her autograph twice. She didn't have to, you know, she was only signing, you know. I brought one thing to get signed, and she happened to add in something else for free, which is really cool. And when I saw that Sandy Fox was going to be there, I was like, oh yeah, I got to get her to sign, you know, a Harmony photo. So I'll show you this. These are my two Sandy Fox Harmony autograph photos. So you can see this is the one photo, Uh, it says, to Anthony, love your #1 fan, Sandy Fox. So that's pretty cool. She was very sweet, very, very cool. I'll even add a photo at the end of this video of me and her. Yeah, to Anthony, love your #1 fan. Of course, I printed this myself. And then here's the photo that she gave me, which I need to get Gray Delisle and Janice Kuwait to autograph the other two, which hopefully I'll one day. I know Janice doesn't do many signings, but Gray's like all around, you know. So you'll see that photo with me and her, and I'll put that at the end of this video. So thank you all so much for watching. I know this is kind of a different video. I don't normally do this. So I hope you enjoyed, and happy 20th anniversary to Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi. It's just weird that it's been 20 years since 2004. That just blows my mind. I remember when it was like 5 years ago. Or actually, I just remember it was last year. I know some of my viewers are probably very young, or probably weren't even around. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more content coming very soon. And yeah, thanks for watching. Definitely check out Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi. I really recommend it. One of the most underrated Cartoon Network shows ever. And I'll see you then. So, bye.